These shortages are getting pretty serious. Went to Joe's gun shop the other day and we'll show you how that went down. Oh, thanks. Just kind of looking around this morning, checking out, see what you got here. Say, is that a tin of 100 number 10 Remington caps you've got over there? Would that be for sale? Take $100 cash in gold. Well, I've got 96 F350. It's a diesel 7.3. Got about 150,000 on it, and if you got a couple of those tins of Remingtons, I think we can talk a deal here. Hey, I got a buddy who works at a nightclub, and he knows a couple of girls there, and I think probably. All right, don't shoot. I'm on my way out. First the powder ran out, then the percussion caps and primers ran out. Suppose beer's next. Something better show up pretty quick to help this situation out.
Well, fortunately, that something else just showed up today here in the mail, straight from Sportsman's warehouse, I think. Well, these are claimed to be the good ones that are made in Germany, so I think it's time that we kind of open these up and check these things out. I got 1,200 shots, and got a few of them in here, so let's go ahead and open this up and have a look at them. Now, I know some folks are probably thinking, a ranger slipped a cog or two or is not playing with a full deck. He's going back to his childhood, and he's kind of quit shooting or whatever he's done, but no, I wouldn't count on that yet. Let's get this camera and a tripod here and get into one of these things, and I think there's a few folks out there that actually know what's coming next with these things. But let's get this camera here and a tripod, and let's get on with opening this up. Okay, these are made in Germany. Actually, I've got to get my knife out and slip my fingers, maybe because they've actually got a spot here that you can, and you'll believe that, huh? Somebody's thinking there. Oh, as easy as that. And there we got it. Claim there's 1,200 in here, and there's two of these rolls, so 600 a piece. I'm not sure how many rolls there are in the little canister here, but we're going to find that out. I'm not too worried about how these come out of here, because I'm not putting them in a cap gun as I was talking about. And here's what we've got. Those dots look really nice. I think they're going to work out just fine. Not sure how many there is. There may be 6 rolls or so in there, maybe a couple of hundred caps on each one of these. So our next thing to do is going to be cut one of them off, take them over to the vise, and hit them with a hammer and see what kind of power they got. Yeah, here goes this. We'll see if we can get this cap to ignite, see if we can hear it on the camera. I think it's a good deal. I like the way that sounded. There's quite a bit of snap in that thing. I think it's going to work out just fine for what we've got in mind. Well, there's a smell I haven't had for 50, 60 years. It really takes me back, brings up some really neat memories and nostalgic even. I was thinking about that. That's probably not exactly true, because we've got something here called Make Percussion Caps, and this goes back into the 80s sometime, I think. Let's check this out. And that, as I was saying, is going to be the purpose of our roll caps. We're going to actually produce some percussion caps. These, by the way, are kind of a thing here. I guess this goes back to the 90s, because brother and I were shooting cowboy action, and we wanted something that wouldn't jam our guns at that time. That was before slick shot nipples and other things came around, and we decided if we would put these things on there, then they wouldn't be as likely to come flying off and get jammed up. And they did work, but we just kind of thought maybe that wasn't the right thing to do, so kind of gave up on that and kind of quit shooting about that time anyway. Alright, so what do we got in our old Winchester primer box here? Take a look at that. I'm not sure when I purchased this. It's definitely been 80 sometime. This is a Forester. I forget what they call it, a cap something or else. Anyway, it made I think number 11 percussion caps, and in here we got some remnants of some of the caps that we're using. These are different than the ones we just opened up here, and they have a pretty small explosive area. If I can find one, here we go. I mean, they did work, but just didn't. Well, we didn't need to back in the 80s. There, you could buy percussion caps, real reasonable, and availability was decent on them. Anyway, we didn't do that much with it. I've got some that we made in here in the bottom of the box. Here's a tool that we use to punch those out, and I also use this. Problem with the punch here, paper punch, is that hole it makes in there, the size of the thing it punches out, it's a little too large for the size of those percussion caps to fit down in there nicely. It just doesn't work out. So we're going to modify that. We've got another leather punch over here that I think is going to work a whole lot better. It's got a lot smaller diameter punch to it, and I think that's going to really help out as far as. And if it doesn't, we'll figure something else out, because we want to get those powder areas in the percussion, in the roll caps. We want to get those things punched out so they pretty much fit the bottom of the percussion cap that this Forester tool does make. So that's the idea. Now, there are plenty of videos. You can buy these things now. Different company makes them. Plenty of videos on how these are done, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on how to make the actual caps. But what we're going to do here is actually take one of our roll caps, and we're going to punch it out. We're going to set it down inside this aluminum cap here, and we're going to set it on a nipple on a percussion gun and see what kind of a bang it makes. So our leather punch here didn't do exactly what we were hoping for it to do. We're going to have to work on that so it hits square on that brass down there. But for right now, we're going to take our scissors and clean this up a little bit so it'll fit down inside our new percussion cap that our Forester tool made for us. Well, it's not perfect, but let's see if we can get that down inside of our percussion cap. I'm going to use a compass, just a needle point, to push that down in there with. And that's one of the problems we get, is that it's kind of a delicate operation here. I think I've got it pretty square in there now. If I can push it down with our punch here, I think that might work. We need to hold on to that thing with something. Try like this. There. Fit down in there, and next thing we'll do, we'll put that on a nipple on one of our guns and see if it makes the right kind of bang noise. Now we're using an older vintage type gun here, and it'll fit on there really nice. These are smaller nipples on this gun than the more modern ones that are made now. The modern ones definitely need a size 10 Remington or 11 CCI, and this is a smaller fit, but it seems like it works real well. It's going around in there, so let's take it outside here and see if it pops. Okay, one definitely went off. I can smell the smoke. What kind of powder it'll set off? Will it set off something like Pyrex, or how will it work on Goex? That's almost non-existent anymore, but substitute powders will be the next thing we need to check out. See what kind of reliability we can get from a single cap in there. We may have to go to two. Not sure what kind of propellant they use in those toy caps. It probably is corrosive of some sort. I think we're going to leave this, take the cap off of course, but I think we're going to leave this gun for a few days, kind of keep an eye on it and just see how things start to, how much rust starts to form on that, and then we'll clean her up and go through the barrel, because we shot at the thing when I had the barrel on it too. So need to take care of that. You know, this hole punch idea that I had isn't working out too well. It turns out these the paper these caps are on is pretty dang tough, and not able to get them to punch out the way I want. So I'm going to demonstrate here a method that I read online that a fellow was using, and it seems to work pretty good. He's taken a very sharp razor knife and come along these things and just cutting. It takes a little practice, I guess, but trying to cut those dots off like that. And he said when they turn up like that, you just leave them. Like I say, I'm not getting the best there. One came out right. Try this one. And that one's coming out right. I'll get it ahead a little bit so we can see on the camera. Actually, it probably takes a little practice, but get into that and then just turn them up like this. And we're going to take 3 or 4 of those off and put them inside our percussion cap. It's pretty still out here right now, so I want to see if I can get that leaf down there to move when this cap goes off. That'll kind of tell me that something's going through the barrel then. It did more than move, actually. It kind of turned the leaf, so no doubt about it that 3 or 4 of those might be more than we actually need in this gun. A couple of them might work just fine. So I hope this has been helpful in seeing what I'm going to do with these caps and what other folks are doing with them, and fairly inexpensive way to get back into the shooting if you're totally out of things. Once you own the machine here, I think these go now for around $50. It's kind of expensive, but I've seen a tin of percussion caps, 100 of them go for that much or more, and people are getting a lot more than that, even sometimes for the Remington. So this might be a way of getting around the shortage at the moment, and hopefully things will restore themselves back to normal here after a bit. But like I say, this is a way to get through it for the present time. So like I say, hopefully this has been find this thing useful, and now we know what we're going to do with our caps.